Welcome to We Need to Talk Now, presented by AT&T. I'm Alicia Jay, and today I am here with one of the legends of freestyle skiing. I'm so excited to interview her today, Mathilde Gremaud. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Listen, I know that you're only a week out from competition in the Winter Olympics, so thank you for taking the time out. Um, for people who don't know what freestyle skiing is, can you give us an overview and also tell us the difference between slope style and big air?
Yeah, so basically freestyle skiing, we use twin tips, so we can either ski forward or switch, like looking back over our shoulder. And the main disciplines we have, actually there's three. I ski big air and slopestyle, and then there would be half pipe, which is also like a big one. In big air, basically it's one jump. We have different format, but like most of the time it's two run of competition, and the two best count, and we have to show obviously different tricks. And in a slopestyle competition, the format is going to be two run and only the best count, and it's going to be basically a whole slope with different features on it, with rails, which is like basically looking like a handrail, and we slide with our skis over it and on it, and we spin onto it, on it, and out of it. And so we have a lot of different possibilities to do tricks on those rails and those features. And then it's also mixed with jumps and like air features, which can be a really basic jump, like we know how they look, or it could be like a side jump with a normal landing. It could be a lot of like, it's very free how you create a slope style, and we kind of have to adapt and show variety of tricks. And yeah, so that's the main difference. Big air is only one jump, a lot of airtime, and slope style is a full slope of features.
Well, when I'm watching, what you do with freestyle skiing, I'm just thinking, how do you even get to the point where you can land these tricks and do all of these things? And I in my research, I saw that you train on an airbag. Can you tell us more about how you train to even get to the point of landing all of these amazing things that you do?
Yeah, exactly. We train now mostly on airbag in the summer. When I started, the airbag was not really a thing, so we would go on a trampoline as well and like water ramp, but I really didn't like the water ramp. We would also use rollerblades into a foam pits. And yeah, nowadays airbag is a big thing, so we can really actually do everything on it, and stuff we're already comfortable with and stuff we need to start doing to progress and learn new stuff. And it takes a lot of visualization as well. Like it comes from your brain first. Like you get inspired by someone doing certain trick or doing like skiing a certain way, and then you have your own ideas and put everything together, and then uh you try it on the airbag. Like for myself, it's definitely a big thing in my head first that I develop, and I get pretty confident in my head that I can do it, or I try to imagine the way I'm gonna do it, and then once I'm ready in my head, I will try on the airbag, and then I can yeah, I can really make it perfect on the airbag because I get to try with my skis on. And yeah, it's very much like a jump in the winter. It just everything is made out of plastic, and you land on a soft bag that's slippery. So yeah, it takes a while to still to get new tricks, but it's way easier, I would say. I like it's reassuring to be able to try it on the airbag first with your skis on, and kind of have a simulation if you would have landed on your feet or on your head. Like it's at least it gives you a good insight if you're ready or almost ready. And I mean, I started when I was younger, so you go step by step. Obviously, you wouldn't just like start tomorrow and go on the airbag. Like you need to know how to ski and learn the basic tricks. I would always recommend to learn them on snow first, like your first backflip maybe, and first 360 on snow. That's what I did. And then after that, you can maybe start going on the airbag too. Once you know how to do the basics, I would say. Yeah.
Well, you said you started when you were younger, and I know you started actually skiing at 2 years old, which is just wild for me to even think about. When did freestyle skiing come into play? Like, when did you see, like, this is what I wanna do with skiing?
Um, well, yeah, I started super young. I've always skied a lot and I've loved it since I was really young. Um, Freestyle started, I think I got my first pair of twin tips. I was probably 10 years old because I asked my dad, and he was more into ski racing because he used to be one. And so he really taught us to ski pretty good before he let us really explore, but also it wasn't really a wish from me or my sisters. So at the time I asked him for skis that were meant for freestyle ski. He was like, weird, but okay, cool. You know how to ski anyway, so like let's go for it. And he was happy about how I was skiing. So yeah, about 10 years old, I started really getting interest into this sport, but also it was, I mean, that was 15 years ago. So that was back then the sport was also way smaller than it is now. Like now it's an Olympic sport, it remains small, but it's like way developed compared to 15 years ago. And so I started really on the side of the slopes, hitting a little jump and hitting like a side hit that was naturally formed on the side of the slope and stuff. And then we would there was a couple of guys in a ski resort that wanted to learn backflip, so they were older guys, but they were kind of like big brothers, so they kept me with them, and I took my old shovel as well, and we would build the jump, and that's where I did my first flips. And that's really how I started. And after that I tried to get more and more time into freestyle skiing and into the snow park because we didn't have one at home. And it's only, yeah, 6 years later that I really realized that this sport is actually a thing. When I was lucky enough to get selected to the Youth Olympic Games in Norway. And so that was a crazy experience because it was my first competition outside of Switzerland, and that was international. So that's when I realized, oh, there is actually a future in this sport, and I wanna take my chance. But yeah, the years before I did it a bit on my own, and then I met some people that were from the first competition I did. I met some people that had a small team, regional team, and they just told me that there is actually a whole tour with a lot of different competition in different places, and I could join them. And so yeah, it was that's how it started. Yeah.
Well, the progression of your career has just been amazing, as I'm reading all of the accolades that you have, and you were the first woman to land a switch double cork 1440 in competition. Now, for those who don't know what that is, can you explain it? And then also, what did it feel like to accomplish something like that?
Yeah, that was, I mean, that was a great feeling to accomplish something like that. And even the first time I landed it outside of competition was like a big thing for me for sure. And then being able to do it in a competition was even bigger because I could show really everyone, and everyone that's missed out on the first video. I was like, yeah, this, I did it in competition. And that, yeah, for a second time, it raised a lot of interest. And it's funny because now, 5, almost 6 years later, people still know me for that, which is crazy, um, and pretty cool. So in the moment, I didn't realize it would have that big of an impact in the sport and in my career as well. But the more time passes, the more I realize it's actually, yeah, it's not a feeling that just lasted for the day I did it. It's really something that keeps on coming during my career, which is like a really cool souvenir kind of. And the trick itself, it's a bit hard to explain, but if I had to make it easy, maybe you can't see it, but at least you can understand. I'm riding switch into the jump, so I turn my back to the jump and I just look over my shoulder, and I do 2 flips, so my head goes twice under my, like below my feet, basically. but there is some rotation into it. So I will do the first flip. The first time my head goes under my feet, I'm gonna do at the same time 900-degree rotation, which is 2.5. So at some point in the trick, I've done one flip and 2.5 rotation. So I'm gonna be facing the landing, and then I'm gonna add one flip with 1.5 rotation to land switch again. So if you put the 9 and the 5 together, you have a 14, and that's what I did. So it's a trick. I take off switch and I land switch, and in the middle I do 4 full rotations and 2 flips. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Like for someone who can't walk and talk some days at the same time, I can't even imagine doing all of that. Like, that
It's okay.
is
It happens to
that,
me as well, you know.
that is just absolutely amazing. And when I think about you talking about the visualization of all of that, I'm sure you had to think about that so many times and how you would do it before you landed it. It's just the whole process is really amazing, truly to listen to. And going from making historic jumps to you're entering these Olympics as the reigning champion in slopestyle, both on the Olympic and world championship stage. Like, what kind of is there any pressure that you feel going into this, being reigning in both of those areas?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a little bit of pressure. There always is. Mostly from myself, like all athletes, I think struggle the most with the internal pressure. At least after a few years of career, I think in the beginning it's hard to deal with like the media and the attention and stuff, and afterwards you kind of switch to your own pressure, and so I have a bit of pressure, but it's also mixed with excitement for sure, because I just know I was really good and I wish to be good again, and I kind of know I can do it again. Like, I mean, I have the capacities now. There is a lot of other girls also who was really good nowadays. So yeah, it's excitement, and I just don't want to give up the titles, I guess. So I wish for it to keep going, but at the same time, I already have a lot, and if it wouldn't work out, it would be a big disappointment, and it would take a bit of time to swallow the pill, I guess. But yeah, I think it's really motivating to have even just a chance to go again. There's a lot of things that could have happened. I could have, you can get injured a week before you even go, and like this happened to my friend, like 2 Olympics in a row, and now she's finally going. So I'm thinking, I'm already just so happy that I have an opportunity to even go there. So I really take it one day after the other, and I've trained hard, and I've prepared myself for hopefully everything, and I am motivated to take on a challenge again. But also at the same time, yeah, I've done it once, so and even have other medals, so it's already I'm already super happy about that. But obviously I'm very competitive, so I'm gonna try and do my best again, and push myself, and really, yeah, try to not try to just keep the title. But it's a mix of emotions for sure. I think I'm kind of prepared for everything, and I hope for me that the best outcomes happens.
Yeah, absolutely. It's truly astounding. I mean, your third Olympic appearance at just 25 years old. Some people don't even get to be in one, right? And you're in three at 25. What does that mean to you to accomplish just that? It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's also already pretty amazing, and I should definitely never forget that. And that's something that during these past couple of years, when there is a year that's a season that doesn't work out as well, or even just one competition, it's like, okay, as competitive, you're gonna bounce back, but also don't forget that you've already had like so many great experience, and that also is really comforting, and knowing that it will be my third Olympic selection, and I'm only 25, I'm soon 26, but it's yeah, it's amazing. As you said, like some people have never been there and will never be, and it would be my third time already. So on it's kind of a double-sided feeling. Like on one hand, like yeah, I'm here to compete, so I don't really care about these, and I just want to go and do my best. And on the other side, it's like yeah, it's super beautiful thing, and I should really enjoy what I have. But I think that's also will be some feeling that take a bit of time to develop as well, because now I'm in it, and I know I have more than just attending and being happy that I'm attending, and really I'm a people Olympian. It's like, and at the same time, I already thinking about that. Sometimes I'm like, oh, if I retire today, I have so much to be grateful for and happy about. Um, and at the same time, I'm still young and I can push, so I really want to, and I don't really care about like, oh, it's my third time. But I'm still like, I know it is, and people talking about it, and I have to talk about it as well. So it's definitely a thing that I'm conscious about. It's just a really funny feeling having those two things where it's like on one side super important, and on one side I'm just here to compete. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty funny to think about.
Absolutely. I mean, amazing accomplishments, but the best is yet to come. That's where it's, that's where it's going. And when I look at everything that you've done, I'm thinking about the crystal globes, the um all the trophies, I'm sure, all the medals. Where do you keep all of that? Because it's a lot.
Yeah, there's a couple at my parents' house. I mean, most of it, and there's maybe a small percentage of some of the trophies. I have like one glove here in my apartment and a couple X Games medals from last week, and the rest is basically at my parents. Um, yeah, it takes a bit of space for sure, but we find cool places, and also sponsors can have some to put in their office, and there's always like they're a bit spread, which is pretty fun as well. So sometimes you kind of forget about one trophy, and then you go somewhere and like, oh, there it is. Oh, I'm happy to see you again. And um, so yeah, it's pretty fun to just have them a little bit everywhere. So it's also it's also shared, because it's not something I can do by myself, and I have people that support me, and they also deserve some of the medals, and that's why, yeah, we keep it in different places.
You talk about people that you share it with. What does your team look like? Like, do you have a team of people who you train with? A nutritionist, like all of that, or is it just, coach and you? Like, what does your team look like when it comes to preparing for this?
Um, well, so basically, I'm part of the Swiss team, as you see. We're a big family. There's like different sections with the alpine and freestyle skiing, snowboard, etc. And our team is consisted of three different groups of training, basically, and one is the most performance group, which I'm part of, which is World Cup team. And we're a bit of a smaller amount of people in there, because you can't just have two coach for 20 guys. So especially in the Olympic year, they try to reduce the team a little bit so that the focus on the high performing athletes are as good as they can be. And so there is two coaches with us. There is one main coach that's 100% with us, and that yeah, I rely on quite a lot and share quite a lot with him. And we were already at the last Olympics together, so we've done 4 years now, like quite some cool experience and a long way. And then we have a assistant coach, but I mean, they're doing the same job in the end. They're both here to support us, and he's just not here 100% of the time. But he's definitely supporting a lot as well. And so yeah, we have two coach for snow training and airbag as well for about 6 to 8 athletes. And that's our welcome team. And then there is like the whole Swisski family, which is the back office for us, and they deal with all the team sponsor and everything, and they deal with insurance and like if you're injured and stuff like that, they support us with a lot of things and cars and everything that they can basically. And then a big part of my team as well, because that's our team. It's not really my team, but then like obviously I have some people around me that I call my people because everyone has their own family and there maybe some part-time private coach and stuff like that. And yeah, I've spent a couple weeks this season, maybe 10 days training with another guy because my coach has priority over the team, and when he is not available because he's skiing with the team or when he finally has 1 week of holiday, then I might want to train more. So I use people that I know to just help me have a bit of even more attention. Like it's cool to do coaching one-on-one, but with the team coach it's pretty hard because he doesn't have only me. So I try to, especially in this Olympic year, I try to have a little bit of extra focus for my training. So I did that, and then I have my physical coach, and he's the only like he's training me, and I'm the only one he's training that's part of the Swiss team. So he has the other clients, I guess, and then I have him, and I also can. Yes, I spent 2 weeks with him as well, doing like training blocks, just like the whole week, only him and me, and then we can work hard, and it's pretty fun. So that there's him, there's my family, and there is a big part of people I work with is obviously Red Bull because they have a lot of athletes focused support with the APC, and they have sometimes on I mean, we have a physio with the team that travels with us, but still on certain competitions they have extra people that come and that are part of medical crew, and they have the training center in Austria where you can go. And I went there, for example, a week with my coach last summer so that we could use the infrastructure, and his costs were covered by Red Bull, and I was there, and like everything is taken care of. I can see the nutritionist, and I have a psychologist that helps me. He's also covered by Red Bull. So yeah, it's like this is a big part of what I have on my own, on my side. Yeah, so we have the Swiss ski family, I have my own family, and then I have off snow training and support, which is mainly covered and supported by Red Bull. Yeah.
When you look at the sport in general and women's sports in general and how far it has come from when you first started, what are you excited about for the sport, and what do you think still needs to be added when it comes to freestyle skiing to enhance it and get it in front of more people?
Yeah, I think I mean, it's already a great start and a great thing that we are at the Olympics because that gives us a platform we don't have at all the rest of the season. The X Games are pretty big. They already give us a different platform than a regular World Cup, which they're great, but they are definitely not getting us where we deserve to be. And so X Games is doing that a bit more. And then the Olympics is like 10 times more. And it's really, really cool to, even if you don't perform, you have really a place to show your sport. And now even with social media, you can do way more. And that's pretty cool. And I mean, I think everyone is trying their best that the sport grows, and I think a bit of patience we need for sure. But we're I think we're all trying to get out of it. And what is sometimes tricky with our sport is that it's not really only defined by competing. Because freestyle skiing, you can do it in the backcountry, which is going to be a mix of freestyle skiing and freeride. You can do video parts. You can go ski in the street and have a street part, which is definitely everything but a competition. I mean, it's competition with yourself to get the trick, to get the angle, to get the film and everything. But it's like freestyle skiing is not only defined by competition, and the art of freestyle skiing started way before it became a sport where you compete in, and also the winner is um, being judged. Like it's not something that's clear for everyone. Even for us, sometimes it's a big mystery. Why is this person first and not third, or why is this person not on the podium? And like sometimes it's a bit hard to understand. So I think for us, for our sport, which would be great now that we're already in the Olympics, would be to have. I feel like since we're in the Olympics and there is World Cup, like the sport and the athletes and the federation have developed a bunch, and I think we're really on the right path to become a bigger sport. Um, but the smaller part, which is almost the most important one about judging, is sometimes a bit blurry, and the condition that the judges, they're not always the same at every World Cups. They are not they are none of them can leave from the job of judging. They all have a side job, and or like a main job, and judging is the side job, and the way they're getting paid and stuff. Like I think this would go a long way into our sport, because then it would make everything more um like you kind of want to come back for something, because you follow the World Cup, you see what happened. The next World Cup is the same judges, so they're like, obviously you start a new World Cup, they're going to start judging from as if they wouldn't know you in the beginning, or they wouldn't know what happened last week, but they still have really this overview of what's happening in the sport right now, and they keep up, and we keep up with them. And I think that would go a long way for to make our sport more reliable, kind of. And I think that then it would also, because a lot of us are also trying to film on the side and doing a street part, and everything gets a bit mixed. And um I think it's really cool to do it all, but if we had a bit more seriousness into actually the way our sport is, like the winner is defined. I mean, it's not their fault. I'm just saying, like the system in general,
Mhm.
because they're trying their best for sure. But the system in general, I think it would be really nice if, yeah, it would help us to progress and become more reliable, because then people would want to follow what happens more from one week to another. Because sometimes it happens that one week they're choosing that these tricks are now the best, and then you go next week and they judge completely differently, and like the riders themselves, they don't really know where to look for answers anymore, and they don't really know why this happened, and what are they going to do next World Cup then. And that's, I think, is a big problem in our sport, and needs to be, it needs to evolve. And I think that would help us a lot. And I think it's a sport, it's a problem within our little sport, but if it can get solved, I think it will kind of directly make the sport bigger. And also for women, what I really don't like is that we have competitions on the same day. Like we compete at the same World Cup on the same course, which is fine, but during the final they will do one run of men, one run of women, one run of men, one run of women. So then you get the people who watch, they're gonna like watch the boys and they're gonna like, whoa, incredible. And then they're gonna look watch the girls, and what's gonna happen? They're gonna compare us. Even if we're not competing against each other, we're still gonna get compared because we're skiing like after each other. And I
Yeah.
think that that's a really bad image for girls, actually, because we deserve to be seen as one category and not the category that's compared to the men's, because they're anyway doing more spins and more stuff, and they go higher and they go further, and they are like physically better. And yeah, they've been doing it also for longer than the girls, because we started catching up with like, but still it's like not as many at the start, and takes a while, and like the sport is driven by men. So I think it would be also really good if in the future they can just, yeah, we can have the two competition on the same day, just put the guys first and the women after, or the opposite, or once this way and once the other way, and just completely separate them. Otherwise, we're being compared to them without wishing for it, and it's human. Like I would compare it as well.
Right.
But if you
Being
don't
side by
give
side.
it, but then if you don't give it the even the possibility to compare, then I think it would also help. Yeah, I think those are my two biggest things. It is a long time to explain, but yeah.
Well, the sport has certainly come a long way, and there's definitely gonna be things to advance it in the future, but one thing that I know I'm looking forward to is watching you in these Olympics, so just wanna wish you the best of luck, and thank you so much for joining us. I know you're only a week away, so we appreciate the time, and,
Yes.
just I'll be there front and center watching you. I know that's for sure, so
Perfect. Thank you so much.